Hi there, folks. Welcome to Sumit Academy. This is my third video on AFSPA. We shall now study the powers available under AFSPA and how an area is declared as disturbed by the government. First of all, let's have a look at what the Act says. Now, especially about powers of an officer of the armed forces. According to the Act, in an area that is proclaimed as disturbed, an officer of the armed forces has the powers to, firstly, after giving such due warning, fire upon or use other kinds of force, even if it causes death, against the person who is acting against law or order in the disturbed area for the maintenance of public order. Destroy any arms dump. This is the second point. Destroy any arms dump, hideouts, prepared or fortified position or shelter or training camp from which armed attacks are made by the armed gangs or absconders wanted for any offense. Third, to arrest without a warrant anyone who has committed cognizable offences or is reasonably suspected of having done so and may use force if needed for the arrest. Number 4. To enter and search any premises in order to make such arrests or to recover any person wrongfully restrained or any arms, ammunition or explosive substances and seize it. Number 5. Stop and search any vehicle or vessel reasonably suspected to be carrying such person or weapons. Number 6. Any person arrested and taken into custody under this Act shall be presented over to the officer in charge of the nearest police station with the least possible delay, together with a report of the circumstances occasioning the arrest. Number 7. Protection of persons acting in good faith under this Act from prosecution, suit or other legal proceedings, except with the sanction of the central government in exercise of the powers conferred by this Act. And finally, number 8. Army officers have legal immunity for their actions. There can be no prosecution, suit or any other legal proceeding against anyone acting under this law. Nor is the government's judgment on why an area is found to be disturbed subject to judicial review. So this is what the Act says as far as the powers of an officer are concerned. I realize you may not be able to memorize the whole thing, but so long as you are able to reproduce the gist of the major points, the major powers available to an officer, I think your answer will be complete. Moving on as to how an area is declared as disturbed. Now, if in relation to any state or union territory to which this Act extends, the governor of that state or administrator of that union territory, or the central government, in any of the cases, is of the opinion that the whole or any part of such state or union territory is in such a disturbed or dangerous condition that the use of armed forces in aid of the civil power is necessary. Now here take note, the governor of that state or the administrator of that union territory or the central government, as the case may be, may by notification in the official gazette declare the whole or such part of any state or union territory to be a disturbed area. So the powers are with the governor stroke the administrator and or the central government itself. Now the question arises, why declare an area as disturbed? Does this mean poor governance? You see, AFSPA comes into effect only after the government declares a state or parts of it as disturbed. Now, what does it mean? In effect, it means that in the disturbed area, the normal functioning of the government has broken down. And that is why the army is brought in to restore normalcy. Now, important point to remember is that in a democracy, the army must be employed for a limited period, and its deployment cannot be prolonged indefinitely. Now, what is happening, unfortunately, is just the opposite, because districts and states continue to be disturbed for years and even for decades. Even a state like Nagaland continues to be designated as disturbed, despite the fact that hostilities have been suspended for over a decade and no security personnel have been killed in this period. You see, the critics of this act, they therefore feel that this is only an excuse and an alibi for poor governance. The critics feel that the police has a lot of powers. Why bring in the army? So they say that it is the failure of the central and state governments to enforce law and order and provide security to the local population. Well, that's it from me on this, the third of my videos on AFSPA. Do look out for all my videos on AFSPA to get the complete picture. Now, I do hope that the points I have given you are more than enough to build your 250 to 350 word answer. Remember, the UPSC examiners are pretty strict about the word limit, so always read the instructions on number of words before you start writing your answer. Till then, as usual, stay cheerful and do remember to like and subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss out on my future videos. In case you have any doubts or you want additional videos, do remember to drop me a line at sumitacademy20@gmail.com or do drop me a comment below this video. Cheers.